everyone, this is Adriana. Welcome to my kitchen, and today I will be showing you how to make Colombian arepas. The first thing you will need is a large bowl. Next you need is a half tablespoon of salt. Start off with 2 cups of hot water. There is water in this measuring cup and there is a cup of water in the bowl already. Next you're going to need pre-cooked corn flour. I use the Pan brand. If you have any questions about it, I'll link it down below. And you're gonna need some oil, about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of olive oil, vegetable oil, any oil that you like. So to the large bowl, what you're gonna do, you're going to add the pre-cooked cornmeal to the hot water. There is hot water in the bowl. You're gonna add the pre-cooked cornmeal into it. This is just a way to ensure that there aren't any lumps in your batter or in your dough, and you don't have to use the whisk. You're more than welcome to use your hand, but it becomes really messy and I don't want to burn my fingers, which is why I'm using the whisk. I recommend it. And just incorporate the ingredients slowly. I'm adding another cup of water in here, and I will slowly be adding another cup of the cornmeal slowly. You really have to feel this dough out. Depending on where you live, if it's drier or more on the humid side, it will vary. I tend to use about, it's a ratio to 1 to 1. But like I said, you have to feel it out, and I will show you what the dough looks like next. I forgot to mention, add some oil. By the way, this is completely optional. You don't have to add any oil or fat to this at all. I just like it. And you also need to add your salt. You can really add these ingredients whenever you want. You just need to make sure that that cornmeal is added into the hot water, and then you can just go from there. Surprise! You will be using your hand at some point in this recipe. So if you can see here, I switched to using my hand to incorporate the rest of the cornmeal. I'm adding a little bit more because I was noticing that my dough was a little too loose, but this is just going to help it bind together and make it into a ball. There we go. We have our nice little ball. It will dry out a little bit when you leave it out in the air, and that's perfectly fine. You can always just dab your hand in a little bit of water if needed, but it's like I said, it's one of those doughs you have to feel it out. If it gets too dry, you add a little bit more water. If it gets too loose, a little too liquidy, you have to add more of the cornmeal. So here is my adult Play-Doh set. Just kidding. This is a tortilla press / arepa press. It's super easy to use and it's pretty cheap. So I will link down below where you can find it. You can definitely find it in el supermercado. But anyway, I do recommend that you use some sort of parchment paper, wax paper, Ziploc bag when using this, and I'll show you how to use it. You just want to ensure that your masa or your dough doesn't stick to the press, because then it'll be a mess, and that's no fun. So here I have some parchment paper that I kind of sized to the tortilla arepa press, putting it down on the base. I'm just going to dab my hands in a little bit of water, just a little bit. And I'm gonna use that to get my arepa dough that's been kind of resting for a little bit. It kind of dries out, that's fine. Making a nice little ball. This is completely up to you, the size of your arepas. I like mine to be not quite as thin as a tortilla, but not super thick like a gordita. So it's completely up to you, but check that out. I'm putting a little bit of water on that parchment paper, making my nice little dough. They don't need to be perfect. And there we go. Pushing it down. You don't want to press it down too hard because it will become really, really thin. But at the end of the day, it's your kitchen. You can do what you want. And here they are. Beautiful. If you want it to be completely perfect without those little edges, then I recommend that you use a rolling pin and some sort of circle, like a bowl that's perfectly round. I don't care because I'm gonna eat these. These will be gone within like a day or two because my husband really loves them. But here you go, just keep grabbing your dough, adding a little bit of water if needed, pressing it down, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You see, it was a little too thick for my liking. My mom would totally love them a little thicker, but I like them a little thin. There you go. Comes right off. You will have some difficulty here and there. Sometimes it will stick to the parchment paper no matter what. Then you just kind of have to figure out a way to make it not stick, maybe adding a little bit more water, maybe adding a little bit more oil, who knows. So I'm using this parchment paper on my baking sheet just to kind of get them set. I will be putting some on my comal or my griddle, and then I will be putting some in the oven just because I don't want to stand on the stove all day and have them cook, because these are great to reheat if you freeze them and eat them some other time. You can put some in the fridge for a different time, and you see how beautiful this arepa is puffing up. Totally love it. Yum, yum, yum. So here it is. This is the arepa, all nice and warm. It's nothing fancy, but let me show you how I like to serve mine and eat mine. So you get some butter, just like that. I like to put a lot of butter in mine. Spread it all out. You can eat it plain. You can stuff this with cheese, with an egg on the side, but this is me. That's the way I like mine. I like butter. Put that up top. And then you get some queso fresco. And you crumble it up top. You can just slice it. That's the way I like to do it. So good. You pick it up. Oh Lord Jesus. This is so good. All that's missing is some coffee, hot chocolate, un cafecito, un chocolate, and that's all you need. I hope you like this recipe. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time. This is so good.